Hi, my name is Geraldine Gordon and I'm a lactation consultant. I'm the clinical midwife specialist in the Rotunda and I joined the team here at the beginning of March this year.
Hi, I'm Marina Cullen, one of the lactation specialists in the hospital here as well. I started here in the Rotunda in 1994 and haven't left, never left. We have put more focus into the clinical support on the wards. We are always there for clinical support, but we're trying, prevention is better than cure really. We're trying to just get in there earlier, really put the focus on education and trying to improve self-efficacy with mums before they go home, informing them how to troubleshoot problems should they encounter them, and really importantly, how to link in with the supports that are out there, because the one-to-one support is more limited. They can still access supports though.
So another thing that well, because I was new to the hospital, I wasn't aware, but the community midwifery team, there was a lot of collaboration between ward staff, ourselves and the community team. The community team took on to visit a lot more of the mothers when they went home, because they were going home so early. We would have a lot more phone consultations, I believe, in the last couple of months because limited supports were available in the community. One of the jobs that we had to take on, or one of the roles early on, was the breastfeeding preparation workshops we recorded and they were posted online. So when we meet the mothers in the hospital, we were telling them to look at the online resources, even though they were set up for antenatal ladies. But we were in a position to say to mums, right, you're going home with your new baby. If you've already seen the videos, have a look again, because it'll make more sense now. You have your baby in your arms. You know, it'll help you to position and attach your baby, recognise that the baby's positioned properly. It'll discuss some complications and make it easier for the mums that they actually had the online resources. So I think that was probably a big bonus.
Very well prepared. A lot of mums are very well, because they had looked at the videos a couple of times and looked at the resources that were mentioned in the videos. But it's more accessible. They can watch it in the comfort of their own home at a time that suits them. Now we will be progressing that to having those workshops interactive online, but also finding some mums are getting their mum maybe or their sister or other people to look at it as well, to see what strategies they can put in place to make their breastfeeding journey successful. You know, a lot of visitors might say, how can I help you? What can I get you? Hot meal, some food for the freezer, things that are just going to enable that mum to keep taking it a step further and a step further and end up being successful in exclusively breastfeeding her baby. You do need that support. Actually, at our antenatal workshops before, we would have advised mums to perhaps go to local voluntary support groups like Lactation, Quidju or Friends of Breastfeeding. And while they're not available on, in support groups at the moment, they can link in online. So they can still do that antenatally and see real live women with real live babies overcoming challenges. And I think they've found that really, really beneficial. They're worth their weight in gold as well as a resource in the community.
One of the challenges that we find is not having as much face-to-face contact with the mums after discharge home. We've overcome some of this by encouraging the mums when they're coming in for follow-up visits some mums are bringing their babies back to the outpatients clinic, so if necessary, we will go and meet them. We've also set up a couple of Zoom calls with mums. Marina's had a couple.
Yeah, just that for mums that need that extra little bit of support. Using different platforms, we would have interacted with them online, and they have found that beneficial. And if we couldn't overcome the challenges by doing that, we have brought mums that have needed to come in, if there was no risks involved. We've supported them that way as well.
I suppose another huge challenge was for the mums with babies in NICU, because they had very limited time initially with their babies. It was hard to get the feeding established, or it was very challenging for those mums, and they really found it very hard. So again, we would have invested a lot of time trying to connect with them on the wards instead of actually in NICU. And thankfully, visiting has opened up a lot since over the last month or two, and mums are finding it a lot easier now.
I suppose the amount of women initiating breastfeeding is actually starting to increase again. I think the antenatal support and the awareness of the importance of breastfeeding. I say a lot of mums are concerned that if they can't share their immune system with their baby anymore in utero, in the womb, it's probably a scary time, but the upside of that is when your baby's born, you can still share your immune system through your breast milk. So it's pretty phenomenal how breast milk can protect these babies. And I think that message is getting out there, and women are very well informed.
One of the things that some of the mums would comment on is they actually have more time to just concentrate on their babies and feeding. So I think some of them will actually have gone home from hospital, although they felt a little bit isolated here. They actually went home more rested because they didn't have interruptions from visitors coming in and out, and they were able to concentrate on just getting to know their babies. We've met some phenomenal mums through NICU that have, babies. I would have seen babies who were born around the time that I came into the hospital, and they're only going home now. And, the rapport and I suppose the relationship that you build up with those mums along the way was lovely. For me, it was something very new because I wouldn't have had big experience with very small preterms. So that's been, for me, I think it's been a lovely, kind of positive experience.
I suppose to be as prepared as possible. It really, really helps to be as informed as possible. Find your resources, find your key people that are really going to support you, and try and get feeding established fairly soon, lots of skin to skin, and just to be aware that you can get to exclusive breastfeeding. It's really about supply and demand, and understanding normal baby behaviour. Babies do like to be held and fed very frequently, and I think as a society, when we accept that, it helps mums to understand that this is normal and I will get through this, but I need supports in place to protect me, to help me on this journey and to achieve their goals.
So say have a look at the online resources, come as prepared as you can, don't be afraid to ask questions. All the staff in the hospital are trained in breastfeeding support, and everyone is there to support mother's feeding choice, whatever it is. So don't be afraid to ask for the help and feel confident going home. What I would say to every mother is, if you're not sure about how to feed your baby, you've nothing to lose by putting your baby skin to skin and allowing your baby to go to the breast and see what happens, and take it one feed at a time, one day at a time. And generally that works out very well for an awful lot of people. The benefits are phenomenal for both mother and baby, so just give it a try, and every breastfeed makes a difference.
Yeah, take one feed at a time.